Hello, it's December 5th, 2021. Welcome to the weather update. Kind of a partly sunny day today, but we had a lot of clouds around. Didn't have any clear skies. And the temperatures are not really going to drop off too much tonight because we have this warm front that's going to be approaching. We have southeasterly winds right now. Temperatures are in the mid 40s across the area. Hasn't really dropped too much from the highs. Dew points right now not that high, but they will be coming up later. Let's look at our highs and lows for the day. So West Hampton got down to 23 degrees. There was some pretty good radiational cooling last night. It was a pretty chilly night. Carl Place got down to 29. Islip got down to 30. Obviously, the city holding on to the warmth because it's a heat island, so they were around 40 in Central Park. And let's look at New Jersey here. 24 in Lakehurst. So, yeah, some good radiational cooling last night. Look at our highs. And our highs generally were in the upper 40s. So, 48 for a high at West Hampton, 48 for a high at Islip. Let's see upper 40s, though. We do see 49 there in Farmingdale. Generally upper 40s, 47 in Central Park. Let's see, maybe New Jersey was able to crack the 50. 50 in Toms River, so maybe a tad warmer there, but fairly close to average today with the temperatures. Fairly close to average. But things, like I said, things are going to be changing as we head into the overnight hours. So looking at the satellite image, see plenty of clouds around. You got high clouds and then these mid-level clouds here. This is all associated with a warm front that is going to be approaching our area. Let's look at the other satellite, the MODIS satellite, so we can see what it looked like during the day today. And you can see it's a lot of high clouds just streaming in across our area throughout the day. Quite a few, filtered sunshine, you could say. But anyway, let's go to the models, and we will go ahead. Let's look at the radar first of all, because this is the system here. It's see, the low is going to be going through the Great Lakes, but you can sort of see the cold front. You can already see some thunderstorm activity and some pretty heavy rain over the Great Lakes area. And yeah, these are thunderstorms. There's actually lightning with them. If we go and we look at the lightning map, let's see. Yes, I know, it is December, and we're talking about thunderstorms, and there's quite a few of them, too, going on in some areas of, looks like Tennessee, Kentucky, into southern Missouri. Crazy to have this kind of weather in December. And if we look at this SPC here, Storm Prediction Center, you'll see that they actually have a slight risk of severe weather in this aforementioned area that I spoke about here. And it actually stretches. It stretches all the way down into eastern Texas, the marginal. And if we look at tomorrow, the convective outlook, they have us in a. We're not really in we're just in a thunderstorm risk, but this is something we're going to have to watch because this is going to be a strong cold front that we're going to be seeing moving to our area tomorrow. So let's get to it. Let's look at the models. We'll first start with the HRRR here. And the 0Z HRRR run here that we have. And you'll see we'll have some showers breaking out after midnight tonight. And some of these could have heavy rain associated with them, though they're going to be scattered in nature. This is with the warm front. All right. And then we warm sectored in the afternoon. And then here comes the cold front. And you can see it's forming a line here. To tell you, you can see that there's a good squall line of showers and thunderstorms that's going to move through right between, I would say, anytime between 7 and 9 o'clock. We're going to see this move through, and then there's like another part of it on the back side that's going to also move through with some rain, and then it finally moves on through. Now, according to this, if we look at this at our total accumulated precip. Probably not a ton of rain. Maybe we'll get a half an inch of rain if we can get some of the heavier. Like I said, things have been very dry lately. But the other thing that we have to watch out for is the winds ahead of this front. It's going to be a pretty strong LLJ ahead of it. And right now, I know it doesn't look that impressive, but it doesn't look that impressive. But look at what happens as this front actually makes its way further east. See some really strong wind gusts at the front line. And I know it's mostly over the water. But that's an indication of a squall line there when you see that. And that is something to be concerned about. And if we look at the 850 winds, which are the winds aloft, this is the strong LLJ. And these 850 winds are pretty strong. And you can see they actually pick up in intensity as this line moves east right ahead of the front there. You're dealing with some pretty strong. Look at how much stronger it gets as it moves east. So this is something that we're going to have to also watch out for. Any of these showers and thunderstorms could tap into those winds at 850 and bring them down to the surface. As with any convection, you have this kind of setup. However, there are other model runs that we're going to look at as well. So let me go back to this and look at the NAM3. This is the 0Z NAM3. All right, so here's the NAM3. And again, there's these scattered showers that are going to develop, but that's not really the part we got to worry about. It's this. And again, you have that V there. It's not a really well-defined V on this particular run, but you definitely have something there that could indicate some severe weather. All right, and you see this kind of setup. And again, this is the NAM. This is the HRRR. Go to 0ZHRRR. And again, sort of see that V there. Yeah, you can see it a little better on the HRRR, but you see this. Whenever you see this, it means a strong cold front and a sharp shift in the wind, which creates a lot of wind shear, which can contribute to severe thunderstorms. So now we're back at the HRRR. Let's go and look at the temperatures, because things are going to be getting quite warm once this warm front moves through. And you'll see here, looking at the HRRR, temperatures will be rising through the night into the 50s. And we're going to see probably mid to upper 50s on Long Island. But if you're in Jersey, again, you're probably going to be dealing with some 60s. And then you can easily see that front coming on through tomorrow night. And then for Tuesday, you can see that temperatures are actually below normal. Again, it's going to be pretty chilly with highs only in the low 40s probably on Tuesday. But the other thing with this air mass that we have ahead of this cold front is humidity. So if you look here at the dew points, they're going to be rising into the 50s, which is kind of humid for this time of the year. And that, again, you can see that sharp dividing line there between the humid air and then that wind shift to the west and northwest and the drier air. So that is a very strong-looking cold front right there when you see that. So that's the kind of front that can touch off some thunderstorms, perhaps some of them on the severe side. So now that we've looked at that, let's look at the GFS, and we'll go beyond. We'll go beyond this front that we have for tomorrow. So once we get beyond that and get this out of the way, this is the GFS, by the way, which is indicating really warm temperatures over Jersey. I mean, it could hit 70 possibly in New Jersey, or get at least well up into the mid-60s, and that's because that southwesterly flow. As I explained to you before, if you're in Jersey and you have a flow like this, the flow is coming in off the land, but for us, it's cool. It picks up some cooling from the ocean. The ocean temperatures have dropped. I believe we can actually take a look at some of those sea surface temperatures, and let's see what the sea surface temperatures are. Go to earthandoldskool.net, and we'll see what they are. This gives us a map of the sea surface temperatures, the actual sea surface temperatures, and we'll take a look at sea surface temperatures. Okay, so sea surface temperatures. We have south of Long Island. I'll pull this in a little more. Water temperatures are 12.3 Celsius, still 54. That's above normal. You can see that there. But 54 degrees there, above normal for sure. And that is definitely above normal. So that's a concern right there. And if we go to sea surface temperature anomaly, yeah, we're still above normal, all right. It's about 3.2 degrees Celsius above normal, 5.7 degrees above normal. So, but the bottom line is, even if the water's in the mid-50s, it's still going to have a cooling effect when it travels over that versus over the land in New Jersey. So that's why you see that difference, and that's why I think it's going to be probably at least a 10-degree difference between New Jersey versus Long Island tomorrow. All right. But when we move this front through, temperatures drop into the night really quickly. By midnight, we're down into the 30s, and for Tuesday, we're going to have trouble getting much above the low 40s, I think, for Tuesday, so it's going to be quite chilly. And then a Wednesday, that's our next storm system that we have to watch for. So, and again, it's out of the range of most of the short-range models at this point. But here's Tuesday on the GFS. Here comes our next system. And it's trending more and more to the south. You'll see here it is on the GFS, trending more and more to the south, which means lighter precipitation, but it also means that there's a better chance of some of our precipitation being snow. And again, this is quite a strong low. It kind of bombs out there. And so what that generally means is that if we look at the total accumulated precip, we're not seeing as high numbers with the total accumulated precip. Looks like only the east end would get above maybe another. Well, actually, we got to do the 24-hour. I think let's do it this way. Here's the 24-hour. All right, so if we go to the 24-hour, you can see it's not that much. The heaviest stuff stays off to the south now. But if we look at the total snowfall, you can see it does give us an inch or two. So we're going to have to watch this. We may get a little snow on Wednesday, and we're going to have to keep again, it's out, right now all I have are the long-range models, but there's definitely a chance that we might get a snowfall. We'll have to keep an eye on that right now. But until we get more model information, it's hard to tell. But it's less than it originally looked like a real soaking rain that day. The system keeps shifting to the south, and that means that maybe we won't get to see as heavy precipitation. But because the temperatures will be colder, it'll be more likely to be snow. So let's go back to the temperatures now. And your temperatures on Wednesday are only going to be in the mid-30s. So these are borderline temperatures for getting snow at the surface. And here we go into Thursday. And Thursday is going to be pretty chilly. Highs maybe only in the upper 30s. And then for Friday, here we are into the low 40s. And then here comes the ridiculous warmth for the weekend. And again, this is Saturday. I know it's a ways away, but Jersey could be in the 70s. For some reason, Long Island is, it seems like there's almost like a warm front here that hasn't made it through to Long Island. But it looks like here by Sunday, and then the cold front comes through and it knocks that down. And then it cools down again. And after that, I don't see another. So you have a couple of these ridiculously warm. But then look what happens as you get toward the next weekend. After that, it could get warm again. So it may have more warmth as we head toward Christmas, which is, again, kind of disappointing. But anyway, and if we look at the Climate Prediction Center, which is the other thing we can look at also, it also has a big chance of above normal temperatures. Look at this. This is really ridiculous. So the only area is, look, you got to be in Alaska. That's the only area that's getting the cold. It's confined to that state. The rest of the country is just way above normal. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, which is ridiculous. Much above normal. And precipitation also slightly above normal. Way above normal in the west. So, yeah, it's all very discouraging. But anyway, let's see now if we can get some clear skies out of this. So I'm going to go to the RGM model for the skies. And we'll go ahead and look at that. Obviously, today we had a chunky day today. Tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of clouds, but there may be some breaks in the afternoon ahead of in the warm sector there. And then, boom, the cold front comes through. Here we are Tuesday. Now, we may have some cirrus around. We may not. So, looks like maybe the cirrus might go to our north, and we may be able to get a mostly sunny day on Tuesday. Obviously, Wednesday we'll have more of the clouds from that system passing to the south, and then it moves away. And then Thursday would be, if we want to go that far out, then we have to use the GFS, which is a lower resolution model. But maybe we'd have a clear day, but it looks like it's trying to roll the cirrus in ahead of the next system. So we'll have to see. That's a ways away. But right now, our next day, potentially to have a mostly sunny day, would be Tuesday. But again, we got to get through this cold front first. So let me go to the vent to sky. We're not done yet with this. Let's get closer here. Let's get closer. Let's go to the thunderstorm. Now, this thing, obviously, the cape is misleading because sometimes you can get severe weather even without high cape levels. So even if you look at this, you're not impressed with the cape levels at all. The best cape levels seem to be offshore. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. We can do wind shear. And there's a lot of wind shear. And this is the concern that we have with this wind shear. Here we are into the afternoon. You can see high levels of wind shear. especially over at this cold front right around 7 o'clock. Though this is 10, I think it's be stable by then. I think this is more of like vertical wind shear versus... Yeah, all right, let's look at this. This is lifted index. Again, this just doesn't really... It's very hard for the models to really pick up on... Use some of these parameters here. Helicity. That's another parameter that has us in the red. So you can see, yeah, this is something that we have to really be concerned about. And again, let's go to wind gusts now. And you can see this is going to be a strong LLJ. So we were 4 o'clock, and we're getting wind gusts close to 50 miles an hour at the beach. This is 4 o'clock here tomorrow. So we'll back this up to 2 o'clock. So you can see it's going to be a pretty strong gusty southerly wind, LLJ, low-level jet event. And you can see the wind gusts approaching 50 with that cold front and the atmosphere all primed and juiced up. This is the concern that we have here. And that's why we could see wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour, perhaps some scattered power outages. But look, here's this 9 o'clock, and you can see where this front is. Look at that. We have wind gusts to 60. So this is, again, a concern that we're going to have to look out for. This also is the radar simulation from this. So I know it's not the best radar simulation. Yeah, it could be underdone. See what else I can look at here. I mean, I think that's pretty much all that we can look at here. But again, if we look at the temperatures, you'll see the kind of temperatures we have. So let me move this back to 2 o'clock here. You'll see Long Island's in the 50s, but look at Jersey. You're in the mid-60s. So it might be like 55 here, but if you're in Jersey, it could be like 65. All right. And that front comes through right at 10 o'clock. You can see the difference right there. The colder air comes in and cools us down. Luckily, it will be just a brief warm-up. Let me go to windy.com, which is the other model I can use here and show you what's going on. And this is the European model, but we can do this. This often will show rain and thunder. And let's see how this shows the cold front here. Not really showing very much at all. Very, very underwhelming. I'm curious what it does for the storm on Wednesday. There's the light snow, but it seems to keep it off to the south now. Interesting. All right, we can use this for the clouds, too. Let's see how it is on Tuesday. It has a mostly sunny day, it looks like, Tuesday. At least to start. Well, later in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. Yeah, roll some more clouds on at 2 o'clock. What about Thursday? Maybe mostly sunny? I don't know. Hard to tell. But as far as this event goes, again, for tomorrow, I'm concerned about it. Obviously, the models may not be able to handle this. It's frustrating to have models that just underestimate the potential for severe weather. There's one of the models we could use that's not really a model that's used by all that many people. That's the HDRPS. And this is, again, this sometimes has a tendency to pick up a little better. And you can see it could really pour overnight with these cells. And here's that front again. It doesn't, yeah, the front is almost just washes it out. But there's a V there, so that's what I'm concerned about. The only thing that might help is if it is cooler over Long Island, the contrast, as it leaves the heat from New Jersey and moves into the cooler over Long Island, maybe it would have a tendency to weaken. But, you know, it's hard to tell whether this front's going to be, or we're going to get slammed, or it's just going to be a bust. It's really hard to tell at this point, but there is a potential. That potential will need to be watched. And I was just pay attention to the radar, especially as you get toward after 6, 7 o'clock. That's when this line can come on through, and it could be it could be a severe line, or it might be a complete disappointment. We'll have to see what happens. But other than that, that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thanks for watching.